in order. And let's see, make sure you hit your button so you say you're present. Carol's online, Pete Olson's online, and Jeff's online. And Bun will not be here. What? Yeah, just today.
Sign in? I think so. I don't want her to say my name.
He is, you mean? He's 5 o'clock, he's working. Patty, I think we're waiting on you. You gotta hit it.
You gotta hit it.
No.
All right, we have 28 present and 1 currently absent, and absent would be Bun Hansen.
Okay, public notification.
I have it on my desk. Sorry, I didn't get back to get it today due to health reasons, but we're properly noticed. It's on my desk. I can give it to the clerk tomorrow morning.
Okay, and just so you know, Jeff's, can I tell him about your back?
I'd appreciate it if you didn't.
Okay. Well, anyway, you got a little clue. He can't come into work for a while. And Wendy had something with her eyes and she's laying face down, so she can't come in either. So. Yeah. Well, after, I don't even want to joke about Minnesota, so. Okay, let's see, is the pastor here? Good, you're gonna get stuck with me. It's all right. Jesus, make sure we make the right decisions today. I really enjoy working with this board and the staff of Barron County, and I think we're doing the right thing. There's always some speed bumps, but we get through them, we work together, and I know there's differing opinions, but again, we work together to get to a common solution. So thank you in Jesus' name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, item number 4, special matters and announcements. Are you taking that, Jeff, or you want me to?
Well, I have 2 items.
Okay,
Okay, everybody please be aware the rec plan survey is out there. It's in your packet. Please take the time to answer that and spread it around to your friends and neighbors so people take it. And I just want to give a special thank you to Officer Randy Cook Jr. For first of all, he drove Patty Anderson around for county officials in cars. And second, he did a really good job at the dairy breakfast. We had quite a lineup of cars. He came in there, took command, and really turned what could have been a potential hazardous situation. He turned it around in about 45 minutes. So a lot of kudos. He showed a lot of leadership skills down there, and really thankful for what he did. I just wanted the board to be aware of those 2 things.
he's got a good mother.
Yes, he does.
Sorry, Randy. All right. Yeah. All right. Item number 5, approve the agenda. Motion by Supervisor Nelson, seconded by Supervisor Patty Anderson. Any concerns with the agenda? Seeing none, let's vote. Greg? Okay. Carol, have you voted?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thanks. We have a tally then? Okay, that passed by a majority vote with 28 yes and 1 absent. Thank you. Item number 6, approve the minutes of the May 19th, 2025 meeting. Motion by Supervisor Heller, seconded by Supervisor Cook. Any concerns with the minutes? Seeing none, let's vote. Carol, yes or no?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, that again passed by a majority at 28 yes and 1 absent. Item number 7, public comment, and we did not have anybody register. Okay. Item number 8, I'm appointing Jason Hagan, the acting interim sheriff, as of June 1st. And Jason, would you mind coming up here? I just got a certificate of appointment from the state of Wisconsin, Barron County, and just appointing him as a sheriff until the governor does that, and he's doing an excellent job. Thank you, Jason. Thank you. Oh, that's right. We maybe didn't have to have a motion, but I think we should, and you guys are already on top of it. Motion by Supervisor Gooselich, seconded by Supervisor Turcott to approve Jason as our acting interim sheriff. Any concerns? Not, let's vote. Carol Moen? She's online.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Yes.
That passed by a majority with 28 yes and 1 absent. Okay, item number 9, Staples Lake Protection and Rehab District Expansion Presentation. And I hope Pat's here. There he is. Okay.
Thank you. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Pat Brown. I'm the Lakeshore Technician for the Soil and Water Conservation Department. Here to brief the county board on the Staples Lake Protection District expansion. So for discussion only tonight, this was few months ago, going back, working with the Lake District. They approached the county and the proper steps to go to expanding the Lake District. Going back to the original formation of that in 1976, I believe, only the Barron County portion of the lake was approved to be part of the Lake District. Over time, they've talked about many times, and now they want to take action on how to incorporate the 19 parcels that are in Polk County that are all riparian parcels to the lake, and how to legally attach them to the Lake District for ecology reasons, for lake protection issues, for community problems, and just clear up that jurisdictional boundary, that political subdivision that's between two counties, but within one ecosystem. So everything in your packets is been looked over by John, our corp counsel, and him and I have had several discussions on it. Mr. French and I have had several discussions on it. It seems pretty straightforward. The Lake District sent out notification letters to all the 19 affected parcel owners. They sent that first class mail, or sorry, not first class, registered mail. I believe the majority, last I heard, is 16 of the 19 have already, they've gotten a return receipt on that. 2 weeks ago, they had a Lake District meeting. 4 of the affected property owner shown up. They were all in favor of being included within the Lake District in the expansion. We do have a letter from the Polk County Administrator. He does not have any objections to it. We've published the notification for the public hearing, which will be held Wednesday. This coming Wednesday for the public hearing of the expansion. So we feel we've done our full due diligence on it, and that kind of a brief discussion.
Pat, and that'll be June 18th at 6 PM in the auditorium here?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. And just so you know, on, on 15B on our agenda, the Staples Lake, a committee that's handling that will be our LCC extension, the existing one. So we'll be appointing that later today. So, any questions of Pat? Dana, or Supervisor Heller?
So are we able to annex that into Barron County and just take the taxes into Barron County?
Don't get that rumor started.
So the
I'm
reason
sorry,
that,
it's just a question.
the reason it's coming to you instead of the Polk County Board is because Barron County has the larger equalized value. So the way the law requires it, we get to hold the hearing and make the committee will do a public hearing. They'll take testimony for and against. Then they'll make a determination on whether it's the necessary and benefits the parcels. If that decision is made to do that, they would send a resolution back to the county board, probably at the next meeting, but you know, they can have up to, I think, 6 months, but, and then you would make a vote on whether to include those parcels in the Lake District.
Anything else? Supervisor Rogers?
Give me a quick explanation of what started the process.
The process started, I think it goes all the way back to 2023. There's been internal discussions within the Lake District, how we bring them aboard. Just throughout the planning process that they've had for lake management, different grant acquisitions, stuff like that. They look at the property, and being part of a community, they want to do it in a legal way, to have one lake community made up of all the riparian property owners. So it was brought by the Lake District.
So there's two ways to approach it. One, if there's somebody on a landowner, they could request to be included, or this way, it was a motion made by the Lake District to request the county to proceed and include them. And when you look at the map, you can see that they're all properties that are touching the lake and would be benefited from it, or are benefited from it.
Supervisor Mosentin, you want to talk into your mic? I did not.
You did. So, what does that do? Any advantage to our county that they put these on? I mean, like tax-wise or land-wise or anything?
So the way that Staples Lake District is currently set up, they do it slightly differently as far as fee acquisition. Typically, it's done by a mill rate on assessed value. Staples Lake does a flat fee. So it doesn't matter if you have a $100,000 valuation on your property or a $400,000 valuation on the property. They pay the same. So, sorry. Yeah, that correct. So $150 is an annual fee for the Lake District, and then they use that money for various sets of projects that the Lake District has. As far as taxes, it won't change any amount of money that the county is taking in as far as taxes.
Okay, so we have no control over how they take care of this property or anything? That we're getting them in?
The Lake District, it handles that, and we have other ones in Barron County that do that.
I was just curious why they wanted out of that Polk County.
Yeah, they're not getting out of Polk County.
Right.
It's just that the fee for the Staples Lake Preservation District will be collected by the Polk County Tax Authority, $150 per property owner, and that will be sent then to Barron County or sent to the Staples Lake
Okay. that's what
District.
I was curious about that.
Yep.
Supervisor Bob Anderson.
I would assume that this is similar to the Rice Lake District. I mean, in a way, services. If you want to put in a request for grants in order to handle invasive species, different things like that, that are on the entire lake, the more people that you have, that can change how your grant is approached also by the number of people that are touching the lake. Services, you know, Rice Lake has weed eaters. If you didn't have everybody paying into that, why would you be giving service to those people and so on? So it's services that are handling those. Just doesn't mean that we're not accepting anything from Polk County.
Supervisor Gores.
Yeah, I just want to add that what it called, these people now can also become voted into office and stuff like that there for the, for the chairman or secretary or whatever, but
Correct.
before that, they weren't even eligible.
They would be eligible to serve on the Lake District as a commissioner, correct?
Seeing no more questions, thanks, Pat. You did a good job.
Thank you.
Next agenda item will be Tim Mather, who's the Executive Director of the West Cap, and he'd like to tell us what his organization does.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for allowing me to speak to you tonight. I served on my Dunn County Board for 3 terms, so I can appreciate the dedication that you put to your county, and I know how much hard work it is, so thank you. I'm Tim Mather. I'm the Executive Director of West Cap, West Central Wisconsin Community Action Agency. We're located in Glenwood City. Next slide, please. And a little bit of history about community action. Community action came out of the Johnson era, 1964, the fight against poverty. And then in 1966, our agency was formed. We're celebrating or approaching 60 years. And then when I say our beginnings, it includes you and 6 other counties. So in 1968, Barron County adopted West Cap as their community action agency. And that up there is the not the charter, resolution. Thank you. Okay. The resolution from 1968 is up there for Barron County, and then it was approved or solidified by your clerk of courts there in 1968. So we've been in it together since 1968, and you know, the notion of community action came out of this Johnson era fight against poverty. Next slide, please. West Cap serves 7 counties in northwest Wisconsin. We've got Indian Head Community Action Agency to our immediate north, and then Western Dairyland out of Eau Claire to our immediate south. And there's 18 community action agencies like us in the state of Wisconsin, and there are about 1,000 community action agencies across the United States. Next slide, please. We are a CSBG, or Community Services Block Grant Funded organization, just like all 1,000 community action agencies in the United States. This makes us somewhat unique, and it defines us. It sets standards for organizational standards and then also outcome-based standards. West Cap receives about $400,000 a year to help provide these services. And last year in 2024, we used $60,000 of those dollars to serve Barron County and its people and the programs that we serve or that we provide in Barron County. And that rate, the $400,000, has stayed steady since 2008. So every year we have to stretch it a little bit further. Next slide, please. West Cap employs about 85 people. They are shown up at the top there. And then one of the things that CSBG does to define our organization is it requires us to have 3 representatives from each county that we serve on our board. And for Barron County, we have Supervisor Fall, who serves on our board. We have 1 county board representative. We have 1 person from the community, and then we have 1 low-income representative on our board. So we serve 7 counties. We have 21 people on our board. Next slide, please. Here's our service area, and just numbers, total number of individuals that we served in 2024 was 40,000, and that was 18,000, a little over 18,000 households. And you can see there, Barron County, we served 2,845 households. Barron County tends to be in the middle of our service area as far as the number of people served. You'll also notice Burnett and Washburn County, they are not technically part of our service area, but we do provide Home Energy Plus related services up there, such as energy assistance. So that's why they're included. Otherwise, we are chartered to serve Polk County, Barron County, Chippewa, Dunn, St. Croix, Pierce, and Pepin. And our largest two programs by far are food access and resources and energy assistance. Next slide, please. For food access to Barron County, we served 2,000, a little over 2,000 individuals. And the value to Barron County that we brought in food and staff time is $251,000. We provide three USDA funded programs: the Emergency Food Assistance Program, or known as TFAP, the Commodity Supplemental Food Program, which is CSFP, and then the Senior Farmers Market Voucher Program. Next slide, please. Housing services to Barron County in 2024, 153 households we served, and the value we brought to the county was around $773,000. One thing that WESCAP does is develops affordable housing. We do that through low-income housing tax credits through WHEDA, and have developed properties in Barron County. In the city of Barron, we have a total of 48 units of affordable housing just north of town here. And then we have 21 units in Rice Lake. And then we also provide housing stability services, help people plan, budget, coach them on keeping their housing stable and affordable. And then we do operate homeless intervention services as well. Next slide, please. Energy assistance in Barron County in 2004, we served over 1,600 households. Average benefit to those households is around $550. So a total of $1 million in assistance payments, and those are paid directly to the local utilities. I'm trying to think here. So Barron County, up until a few years ago, you administered the energy assistance yourself internally. And that was pretty common for most counties, and it's still quite common in the state of Wisconsin. Most counties do administer their own energy assistance, but we took that over from you a few years ago. Next slide, please. Home weatherization. We weatherized, or at least did an energy audit on 142 homes in Barron County last year. We provided 54 first responses to no heat. These are typically calls in the middle of the night with someone that's of low income with no heat, their furnace failed. We take care of that for them and dispatch contractor. So about $600,000 in direct value to Barron County residents in their homes. And the average energy savings once WESCAP weatherizes a house is about $500 a year. I'll say that our weatherization program is, number one, it's very scientific. We don't do things that are unnecessary. We do a blower door testing on the house before we do anything to it to see how leaky it is. We use infrared thermology to identify compromises to the building envelope. And then we use a very prescribed approach to doing things like air sealing and insulating. So most of the work that we do on the houses is not identifiable. You can't tell, but the energy bills are definitely lower. Next slide. So 2024 totals for Barron County. We provided about $3.25 million in support for the services that we provided to Barron County. And that was for 5,500 individuals and those 2,845 households that were supported by WESCAP. So that's about 12% of your individuals and 14% of your households in Barron County. Next slide, please. Any questions?
Does anybody have any questions? Supervisor Patty Anderson.
I'm just wondering, okay, under under your food service, food access and resources. Does anything overlap with anything like the Health and Human Services or ADRC's nutrition program? Does anything overlap with you guys?
Yeah, and I'll be fully transparent with you. Food access and resources, the area of our agency I know the least about, but I do know that we are in coordination with ADRC. So some of the activities that we do, so the senior farmers market in particular, is in coordination with the ADRCs of the 7 counties that we serve. So it's well coordinated.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Supervisor Cook.
So at the beginning of your presentation, you talked about $400,000 in terms of funds you receive, and then Barron County alone is $3.2 million in benefit. Now, I'm not that good at math, but I understand there's a big difference there. So where does some of your other funding come from?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm sorry for the confusion there. The $400,000 in CSBG funding, I was noting that really does, CSBG identifies us as a community action agency and how we operate. We get a little bit of money to help operate other programs. I akin it to if you're making chocolate chip cookies, you put a little bit of baking soda in and it allows you to do a whole bunch of other stuff. That's what CSBG does for our community action. We get grant funding from the federal government and the state government from private donors, and we take those funds and administer the programs that we operate. So I would say in total for the 9 counties that we service, if you add up all of the funding sources that get filtered through WESCAP, whether it's federal, state, private, or local, it's about 27 million.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good. Thank you.
Yeah,
It
you're
works
welcome.
out there too, yeah. Supervisor Fall.
I have the pleasure of working on that or being on that committee and our board, and Tim has been just phenomenal. He took over after Peter Kildee retired here this past winter, and I think Tim said his first day in office or at his desk, he got a memo saying that federal funding was being cut. And, it's amazing how he and his staff have held all the programs together. An amazing staff, the people they work with. Tim, I'm going to put you a little bit on the spot. You talk numbers, but every month we meet, we hear some of the feel-good stories. People that have been homeless, living in cars. Maybe share a couple of those, or the educational, go back to school.
Yeah. The programs that some of the programs that we operate are helping people help themselves. Success stories where we can help foster a person to get through nursing school, to go from being a certified nursing assistant to a registered nurse, and their income goes from $13,000 a year to $70,000 a year. Then they're on their own. We like to think that we've solved some problems for people. I've some of the programs that we operate. Let me back up a little bit. Every once in a while, I push myself away from my desk, and I get in my car and I drive out and see what a weatherization crew might be doing in Barron County. And when I go to the house, often it's a dairy farm with a round barn and 40 stanchion stall, trying to make it work with 40 cows. And I immediately think of my parents. Many of the people that we serve are either like my parents or my grandparents, just struggling a little bit. And WESCAP, can provide some services to them, or direct benefit to help them stretch their dollars a little bit further. So, most of what we do is it's not a handout. It's not a direct benefit. The $27 million in services that we provide in a year, pretty much none of it goes to a client. It all goes to Main Street in Barron. It goes to Main Street in Cumberland. It goes to Main Street in Rice Lake. So most of the money that we give out, if you want to call it that we write checks for, goes to private landlords to pay the rent for someone that's of low income, maybe on a Section 8 voucher. We'll pay Edmondson's Appliances to deliver refrigerators to a weatherization job. Northwest Air and Water here in Barron, or Shatek, I think. They were one of our contractors, go out and put a furnace in, one of those middle of the night, no heat emergencies. So I'll tell you, like the 27 million is going right back into the pockets of the people that, you know, helped put it there. So, and we're proud of that. And, you know, I think sometimes it's maybe misinformed, or people can be misinformed about what we're doing out there, how the money's being spent, but we're good stewards of it. We get, you know, if we get 27 million in a year, I can tell you also that it's highly prescribed. It's prescribed by the federal government. It's filtered through the state. The state might put some additional rules on it. By the time it comes to us, we administer the program like we're supposed to. That's our job. I always tell people, if they don't, you know, whether you're bidding on a contract with WestCap, you're a contractor coming into a bidders meeting, if you don't necessarily agree with the way WestCap's administering a program, we're all ears, and we'd be the first ones to identify ways to help with that kind of a problem. But really, that conversation needs to go much higher up the chain to congressional representatives and state representatives. So we administer services, and we do them very well and economically.
Tim was.
Supervisor Banks.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Is your agency still nervous about the budget cuts from the federal government, or has that settled down, or?
Yeah, that's a great question, Supervisor. As Supervisor Fall mentioned, I started my job as executive director on January 20th of this year. So it's the same day our current administration took, you know, current president took his role. And I think 2 weeks later, we came into work, and in the middle of the night, they shut the funding off to our HUD programs, which, if there's a plan to do that, we understand that, and we are happy to help like navigate that. But to shut it off in the middle of the night, that puts our agency at quite a bit of an exposure. I mentioned paying Section 8 rent. You know, our agency writes checks to probably 100 landlords a month. And so when we're exposed like that, and we've paid all the landlords, and then they shut our funding off for us to get reimbursed, we could be exposed to about $1.5 million in unpaid reimbursements. So we get nervous about that. And that one example where they shut the HUD funding off in the middle of the night has really tempered how we operate. You know, we're risk averse to begin with, and we became much more risk averse when that happened, and we realized how quickly things can change. So we're always thinking about the what ifs and what that would look like and what that would do to our agency if funding were, you know, partially or completely shut off.
Supervisor Turcott.
Yes, my question would be is how do people find you? Are you recommended by the county, ADRC, or something like that? And what is the threshold for people to be qualified?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have pretty tight relationships with all of our counties, whether it be ADRC or, you know, human resource or economic stability folks. So we are well connected in that regard. Income levels are unfortunately different for every program we operate. You know, we probably operate 12 programs, and every one of those income level thresholds is different. You know, that is a frustration. But so, for example, for energy assistance, that would be 60% of state median income. So if you earn up to 60% of whatever the state median income is right now, that would be a threshold for that program.
Okay, Supervisor Fall.
Tim, were you able to bring any of those folders, those little plackets?
Oh, I did not.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I will bring them next meeting.
Yeah.
It's just a great little tool you can hand out, or people, if you know someone that could be in need, because it's the go-to numbers and information. Yeah, it's, could you talk a little bit, it's obvious some of our people don't know what WestCap does and where we all are. You mentioned the 7 counties, but every time we meet, we're talking about new developments. Right now, there's a big one going, or housing, that is, development going up in River Prairie in Eau Claire. Be a ribbon cutting or groundbreaking or whatever.
Yeah.
A dedication coming up soon. talk just a little bit about our relationship with the Gerards and some of that.
Oh, sure. So Westcap utilizes a private developer to essentially spoon feed the application for WIDA to WIDA. These housing development deals are really complex, very competitive. You know, WIDA, I think, issues about $42 million a year in low-income housing tax credit development awards. And, you know, there's probably 15 developers across the state of Wisconsin that are very crafty. And when I say crafty, I mean, that's what it takes to get these deals made. And Westcap uses a private developer out of La Crosse, and we've had great success with them. We've probably developed about 300 units over the last 5 years, in addition to the 200 that we already have. So we've been very successful in that regard, and we, you know, hope to continue doing that. We would love to do more affordable housing in Barron County and all of our counties.
Okay. Any further questions?
I just want to thank Tim for carrying on the torch, and he does just such a great job, and I just like us to thank him for his efforts.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thanks, Tim. You did a good job.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to serve all of you. Thank you.
Okay, item number 11. Jeff and Jason, pay attention to this one. Are we approving the resolution as is in the packet, or is there things changed? The reason I'm asking that question is that I was at law enforcement last Thursday, and Jason indicated he may be able to have a different vendor with a better price or something for that locker. And so the motion that was made by the law enforcement committee last Thursday was to purchase a locker with the descriptions that are in this particular resolution, but up to $25,000 and with no specific vendor. Is that still valid, or are we going with this one, Jason?
No, that's still valid. I'm still going back and forth with the second vendor. I got a quote of about $14,185, but there's a question as to whether or not it'll actually fit in the space that it's in, so that price may go up if they have to retrofit something. So I'm still in the back and forth. The guy that I was dealing with was on vacation last week, and so I haven't been able to contact him yet today to figure this out. But I'm hoping that we can go that route and save about $9,000.
So I guess, Jeff, are we looking for a motion that up to $25,000 for this particular equipment with no specific vendor?
I don't believe, you can ask John, but I don't believe we can do this. I think we're just going to have to let this resolution sit or not take action on it and draft a new one when Jason gets the correct vendor and the correct amount, because we're taking this out of fund balance. So we really need to have a resolution specific to the fund balance amount and the disbursement. It's not like it would be in a capital projects fund where, you know, you're budgeting an amount and you're not budgeting a vendor. So at this point, based on what Jason's saying, this agenda item doesn't need to be acted on or pulled.
Okay. Yep. Anybody have a problem with that? Okay, so, and I believe Jason indicated he's got a way to keep things going until we get a new one.
We have a temporary solution.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, then, I guess we'll move on to the next agenda item. Thanks, Jason.
You're welcome.
Jess needs a sec.
Okay. Jess needs a second right now, so that's why we're silent. You okay?
She's trying to blow it out of there. No vote on it.
We need to vote no on this?
Was this, yeah, is this relative to the one we pushed?
Can they remove their motions and see if that?
Supervisor Cook and Olson, can you remove your motions?
I'll remove it, but how do I do it?
We're just gonna delete it and see if. All right, so now we can go to the next item.
Okay, I guess Jess has it figured out. Okay, so now we're on to item number 12, the resolution establishing the 2026 Barron County budget preparation guidelines and timeline. It's been the same about every year that I've been here anyway, so. So is this the right one? Okay, then a motion by Supervisor Cook, seconded by Supervisor Olson. Any concerns with the timeline or that resolution? Okay, let's vote.
You asked Carol for her vote?
Carol, how do you vote?
Yes, I can't get a picture on mine.
Okay.
I can't open my camera.
Okay, it passed by a majority at 28 yes and 1 absent. Thank you. In the packet is, item number 13 is American ARPA expenditures. Does anybody have any questions on that? I think it's just probably interest that we're gaining yet. Seeing no questions, Jeff, are you ready to report? Nothing?
I have nothing to report.
Okay.
Just the appointments, please, to be approved as one motion, please.
Yeah, and item number 15, we've got the appointments there. A, B, C, and D, hopefully we can do them all as one. Okay, somebody like to, motion by Supervisor Banks, seconded by Supervisor Heller. Is there any concerns with the appointments? Again, the item 15B, Staples Lake, is the existing LLC Extension Committee. Seeing no concerns, let's vote.
With Carol again?
Carol?
Yes.
Okay,
We are waiting on Jim Gores.
and then Jim. $28 yes and 1 absent. Thank you. Item number 16, claims, petitions, and correspondence. None, okay. Suggestions for future agenda items. You have any, Jeff?
None, I have none at this time. Potentially, we may not need a July county board meeting.
Okay. So we've got that presentation from Upper 90, but that can be done at a different time.
If that's the only thing we've got, I'm gonna push that off till August because
right.
the next grant round doesn't come in till July 15th, so we have time.
Okay. No. Oh, Supervisor Patty Anderson?
I have one, and when we, at the law enforcement, and we did the jail tour, and I don't know that we haven't had in a while, the guys, the two deputies that were on, Jason and Darren said that we haven't had a report on the programs that they do in the jail and what the outcomes is and in the process and things like that. I think it'd be very interesting to know.
That can go in the monthly update. We don't have to have an update from them. That can go in the monthly update that's sent out to everybody. That's an internal update.
Okay, so I can get that. Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Yeah, because Tim does an excellent job with the jail, so. All right, any other suggestions? If not, I guess by unanimous consent, we'll